So Man City delayed Semenyo's signing to play against Arsenal. They believed he could help them nick a point or three.
It's jokes, mate. Semenyo went on to drop an absolute clanger against Arsenal.
Yeah.
I'm talking the worst game I've ever seen him play. He was all over the place, busy doing nothing.
Yeah.
He was even at fault for the Arsenal's first goal.
Oh, that moment on the wing.
Funny.
Noni didn't just beat him. Noni sent him on an errand while he created that scoring chance.
Yeah.
He spun him inside out. The sweetest scene ever.
Yeah.
It was painful to watch.
And here is the sweet irony. While they were playing Puppet Master, Man City were begging for their dear lives against Chelsea. In a match where, funny enough, Semenyo could have actually won it for them if they hadn't been so busy trying to sabotage us.
So it's almost poetic, isn't it?
We have plenty to discuss today,
Yeah.
from the big game against Liverpool to Eze, but let's start with Bournemouth, the headline act, Big Gabby.
Right.
The mentality is insane. How do you even begin to quantify a performance like that?
Big Gabby's mentality is elite. He drops an absolute clanger, proper howler, and what does he do? Does he crumble?
Nah.
He shrugs it off like it never happened, resets the settings, and bounces back immediately to atone for the mistake with a top bins finish. You don't see that kind of mental profile often. That is insane mental resilience. That's a man built for the biggest stage. No amount of pressure can rattle him. And have you ever clocked why he always seems to clean up the man of the match awards in the big clashes? It's no coincidence, mate. He thrives in the cauldron.
He's a proper soldier, isn't he? One of Mikel's most trusted lieutenants, handling the responsibility valiantly.
But let's strip it back. Tam, looking at the 90 minutes at the Vitality, who are your standout performers?
To be honest, the whole unit put in a shift, but a few names are screaming for credit. Madueke. Now, he might not have a goal or an assist on the stat sheet, but the volume of chances he created,
Massive.
the way he wiggled through traffic to manufacture that chance for the first goal was exceptional. And here's the thing I rate about Noni. Whenever he starts on that right wing, you don't see a drop off. You hardly feel Saka absence, and that speaks volumes about the quality of his profile. He gives us that direct, explosive threat. It's a huge compliment to the lad. Then you've got Saliba. He had a great game, though it might have gone under the radar for some. His calmness, his control, it was vital. Timber and Hincapie, to be fair, the whole defence unit did their jobs to a T, despite the goals we conceded.
Spot on. I also want to touch on the skipper. What did you make of Odegaard's performance? I feel like he's getting back to his best.
Odegaard is the catalyst. He's one of the main reasons I'm starting to believe we're getting it over the line this season. When Martin is purring, our chance creation volume soars. He demands touches in the opposition box, and that skyrockets our scoring probability. You saw that assist for Declan Rice for the opener, and the defence splitting pass for Saka to set up the third. This performance, it's giving me flashbacks of 2022-24 Odegaard's. If he gets back to that level, I'm talking about the 15 goals a season version, it's going to be a long season for the opposition and better days for the Arsenal.
That's a massive compliment, and frankly, seeing the captain bossing it makes his leadership feel that much more assuring. But speaking of bossing it, Declan Rice. Talk to me about the man of the moment. I really want to hear how you talk about him.
Rice is a cheat code. He gives you a double advantage because he's got the whole bag of tricks in his locker. He scores, he creates, he assists, he coordinates, he intercepts, he defends, he organizes. I'm not trying to force a comparison. Remember when Arsene Wenger said you could put Patrick Vieira alone in midfield and he wouldn't be overwhelmed? That is exactly the mental and physical profile Declan has. He can literally do everything. Teams have to adjust their entire formation just to stop him, and even then, one man can't do it. He was popping up at the edge of the box, then arriving inside the box like a false nine for those 2 goals. West Ham need to send us another invoice, mate. We've enjoyed far more than £100 million worth. He's the only proper through and through £100 million player in the league. No player in the league comes into that bracket.
Seriously, I see why Moyes said they sold him at a discount. Now, any word on Victor Gyökeres?
Look, as a striker, no matter how much you gruff for the team, if you aren't scoring, the optics aren't great. Gyökeres was instrumental in that second goal, which gave us the breather. But like I said, if the net isn't rippling, people talk. That's the reality of leading the line for one of the best teams in Europe. If you don't score, you are not good enough, even if you are purchased on free transfer.
Fair point. Let's pivot away from Bournemouth to the topic swirling around the pressers. Eberechi Eze. In Arteta's last conference, he seemed to demand more, citing parts of his game that need work. What do you deduce from that?
If we're being honest, Arteta picks his front line on merit and performance. We love Eze, we appreciate the transfer and the moments, like that remarkable performance against Spurs or the goal against Palace, but we can't shy away from the truth. His off-the-ball work ethic still needs improvement for the standards Arteta demands.
When you said his off-ball work ethic, are you talking about the defensive side of his game? I mean, Eze is an attacker.
Let me break it down. The Arsenal team functions as a unit. If one cog fails a task, it affects the whole machine. They have clear and defined roles. A maverick profile can't work at Arsenal right now. Maybe after we lift the big trophy, sure, but not now. Eze was a maverick at Palace. That's a star man. The system was built to maximise him. At Arsenal, you have roles. You attack in shape, you defend in shape. Look at Noni tracking back against Bournemouth. We all know Trossard is technically sound more than Martinelli, but Martinelli was playing ahead of him before. It was down to Martinelli being effective at his off-the-ball work ethics more than Trossard. But now Trossard is undroppable. But do you know the reason why Martinelli's playing time has drastically reduced this season? It's down to Trossard mastering his work rate, tactical intelligence, defensive responsibility and anticipation to a new level this season. And these are the off-the-ball traits Arteta is demanding Eze improves. This is the missing piece. You can see the effect on a 31-year-old Trossard. Now imagine what it will do to a 27-year-old Eze when he finally masters it. The world isn't ready for this version of Eze once Arteta is done refining him. So let's trust Mikel's decision. It's really no cause for alarm.
Beautiful dissection. All right, let's talk about the big one at the Emirates. The champions, Liverpool. How do we approach this?
Liverpool will be one of the toughest tests we face this season. Don't let their current struggles fool you. Even without Mo Salah's clutch moments or Trent Arnold gravity-defying passes, they are a threat. This is more than just 3 points. It's a direct rivalry, a battle for pride. We need to go out there and kill any nuance of title hope they might have left.
Do you have a dream front line that can give Van Dijk, Konate and the whole Liverpool defence a kick about who starts up top?
I wanted Kai Havertz to start this so bad, but since he didn't even make the bench at the Vitality, coming back from a long layoff, into a high intensity game like this, too risky. He'll be rusty. So I'm sticking with a front three of Saka, Gyökeres and Trossard. If it doesn't break, don't fix it. Let's stick with that front line for now.
Why were you so keen on Havertz starting if he's just returning? Any motive behind that?
To beat them, you need a technical and physical specimen. Out of our strikers, only Havertz has both. Gyökeres is a physical monster but has technical limitations. Gabriel Jesus is technically gifted, but the back-to-back injuries have robbed him of his guile, speed and agility. You need that kind of specimen against Liverpool's defence. Success for a striker is goals, yes, but look at Gyökeres' contribution elsewhere. He's a pressing machine. Defenders fear him when he's on the pitch. Gabriel Jesus, we have to be truthful, he's lost that burst that made him fearful. At 2 ACL injuries, 28 years old, took its toll on him. His legs look stiff. He can't glide past players the way he used to. You simply can't risk him in a high octane game like this, a match where we need to press relentlessly from the get-go. One heavy knee collision with a physical Konate could be disastrous. We could lose him for the season. So for me, Gabriel Jesus is strictly an impact sub. I'd bring him on when the opposition is worn out. In fact, Martinelli coming off the bench centrally should be considered as well because of the fear factor Liverpool have for him specifically. We know he's always turned on against